Hello, 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 everybody. Good morning for those of you that are near my time zone, and good evening for all of those of you who are way ahead of me on the other side of the world. Hello. Hey, Anjali, Liliana. Hello, hello. Aditi, Shivi, Divyansha, Mishra. I'll call you Mishra. That's easier for me. And hey, Leo. Yay, you made it. Miss King, the Gemini. Wow, thank you all for being here. I am so happy to be here. Happy Aries full moon day or evening. Uh, what a wonderful energy. In honor, I'm wearing a bright red Aries shirt with the flash, which is the lightning bolt, which felt so much like the Aries energy, right? Boom. So I'm excited for today. I will talk about the Aries full moon here in a moment, just briefly. I won't go into like a long you know, explanation of things, but I do want to share some information with you guys that could help you out. This is the perfect time for it, too. But as always, we are going to start off by pulling a card from the Guardian Angel deck to start off our wonderful session of hearing from all those beautiful, beautiful beings of unconditional love and light from above. Awesome. Cooking some pasta. All right. All right. Let's take a look here and see what Creator and Spirit would like us to know. All right. And we have the Judgment card. There it goes. And it says, let go of your fear of being judged. You are good enough. In fact, you are more than good enough, right? Excuse me. It is time to release all that you have kept safely locked away in your heart. Your true essence and potential have been restricted by structure and method for long enough. There is no right or wrong way. Just be you. Love it, love it, love it. That is the way to start off. So, I am so excited here. Let's see. Let's see. Shivi said you feel full moon has some answers. Oh, okay. Yeah. No problem at all. I say ask questions, and if we keep asking the same questions and getting same answers or different answers, it does happen, um, because life changes. Our future is dependent upon our choices. One of the amazing things, just real quick before I jump into all that, I did a reading for someone once, and at their current moment, when they asked what will happen with my life, it was all these dark cards, and the death card came up. And usually the death card doesn't mean true death, but in his case, I was like, yeah, because he was like drinking excessive amounts of alcohol and doing all this stuff that was really harming his body. Excuse me. And reread, and beautiful messages came through, and there's some stuff that really impacted him where he was going to make life changes. And he goes, I'm just curious, now that I'm making different choices, what would can you do another reading, like just to check in to see what would my life mean now? And it was all these bright, 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 bright cards, which is amazing because it shows the power of choice that we have on what energies we grow. And if he moved from focusing on all the dark to focus on gratitude and thankfulness and love and connection to higher realms, and it changed the tint and coloration of his future. So I love that. All right, so Aries full moon. Excuse me, let me take a quick drink here. Haven't talked a lot today, evidently. There we go. So the pipes are clearing out. So the Aries full moon, around any full moon, it is a time of release and letting go. And of course, new moons are all about planting new seeds and starting new things. So new moons, we get 10 new moon wishes that you usually make within 8 hours after the new moon. But for a full moon, it is more of like an unveiling and letting go type of energy. And you can have a kind of an unveiling and letting go kind of ceremony of what you're wanting to let go of and release during the 8 hours before the full moon. So the Aries full moon today is at 2:54, almost 3 o'clock p.m. my time, which is in about what, 4 or 5 hours. So now's the perfect time to do that. And the wonderful thing you can do, you can look at releasing anything during this period, but if you really focus in on the Aries energy theme, then that is even more empowered and even more stronger. So there's this great book, Planetology here, that actually she does a wonderful job. I'm actually studying astrology through her. I'm so sorry. There we go. Little Frog was not jumping there. And I'll give you a link to this here. Let me just put it in the chat here in case. There it goes. So that's a link to that on Amazon. Of course, you can get it anywhere, but at least you can see what the exact book is. And it's wonderful, wonderful. So let me tell you real quick kind of the energies around Aries, which is all about healing birth and early childhood trauma. So anything to do with our inner child work is perfect for releasing during this time. Acceptance of and gratitude for our human body, our image, and our identity, individuality and freedom, abandonment and loneliness, release, new directions and pursuits, use of our energy, time and patience, freedom of flow. If we feel like we have competition or control kind of things going on, drama and stress, ego kind of stuff, and if any kind of radical changes. A lot of all that's the energy of Aries. So if we have blocks around that or anything that we want to release around those subjects, perfect time. Also, as far as the body, of course, Aries rules over the eyes and the ears and the brain and all that is related to the head. So anything with those kind of energies is perfect to let go of during this period and have those types of releases there. Now, I also, in my weekly energy updates that I put out, I also mention that, and I have readings for each individual zodiac sign. So I just want to put a link to that here. Let's see, that should be, oh, that's not a link. Let me see here if it'll copy a link. Copy link, that might work better here. There we go. So you can also check that out there for additional information on the Aries full moon. So I want to make sure because this is the perfect time. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be live. I cannot let this go by without letting you guys know because it's such, especially with Aries energy being so powerful and it's a full moon, perfect time for that. So done with that. Let me just get this chat where I can see it better and we will get started on all of your readings and connecting to the spirit world. So I do love that. So hopefully that is helpful. I will like if a new moon is nearby. Actually, I go live every day now. So when there's a new moon, I also will talk about new moon wishes and kind of give you guys guidance on that because it is moon energy. We are what anywhere from 50 to 70% water, depending on how old we are. The older we get, the less water we have in our bodies. I did not know that until I read something recently. But babies are like 70% water, and as we get older, we're like, we're draining, we're leaking. But we're so much water, and the moon, of course, affects the tides. Why wouldn't it affect us too? So paying attention to the moon energy is just helps us with our lives. All right, enough about moons. So let me take a look here. So Anjali, you were, of course, first in the chat, and hello, hello. And as always, I do follow the chat, and I go, in order So if you wonder where you're at in order, just you can scroll up and go, okay, where is he at? Who is he talking to? And I always, of course, announce who I'm talking to uh, for the reading before I do it. So thank you guys for all your patience and for all the likes. I really appreciate all that. It really does help out the channel, helps it grow, helps get more Zen love and these messages out to more people. So, you would like to know, how will your divine counterpart be as a person and how will you recognize them? Just any guidance from your angels in the situation. I do feel drawn to the Queen of the Moon Oracle. So, we're going to pull a card from there for you. Liliana. You will be next, Liliana. Blessings to you, ADT, and to your mom as well. She be. I know. Back on already. I was on till 11 o'clock last night, and here it is 10 a.m. So that's what, 11 hours ago? I did get some sleep in between. All right, Anjali, what would you like her to know about her divine counterpart? Okay. So you got the Void card here. I know. I see that and I'm like, this is an interesting reading. But let's see what they have to say. Says your time to rest and reset is here. I think that's what you got before too, right? About the it's time for you, it's time for you to pause, it's time for you to reflect. It's like, no. Release all that does not serve you. Stop resisting. The void is a time of possibility, not just darkness. There's nothing to fear in letting go of negative patterns and habits, so let go of the old. And a little affirmation for that is I freely release what I no longer need. While the full moon, full attractive power, which we just talked about, full moon, they get all the publicity. The dark moon, which offers the infinite possibilities of a clean slate, is just as powerful in its own way. The dark moon often looks like just a darker piece of the night sky, and in some cultures, the way it appears harkens back to the idea of the void. It is a place of unknowable secrets, a state of everything and nothing, or a place to prepare or rest before moving on. To the author personally, there's a relieving, restful quality about this darkest moon that allows pondering and decisions about what we can jettison before making fresh plans for the new moon, which is the next day. So we talked about this full moon period too is perfect for you. It's releasing, releasing, releasing for 2 weeks about until we hit the darkness of no moon, and then boop, the little new moon starts where you plant and grow things, and it goes through that cycle. If you find yourself resisting the dark moon, it is usually a clear sign that you are being stubborn about letting go of something that is old and not serving you in a positive way any longer. Often that is a fear or pattern that was created to protect you in some way. However, now it is outdated, yet you are still carrying it or acting it out. Know that this moon is powerful, but it is also incredibly gentle in the way it helps you unravel what actually is so you can embrace the fresh start of tomorrow. Relax, reframe, and think about how much better your life would be without that bad habit, that fear or pattern or person, right? Get very clear about the possibilities of this transformation and what it will give you in the real terms. This is the power of the dark moon. It is the optimum time in the cycle to release the old and cut the cords of relationships and traumas that deserve no time and attention in your present. And the companion stone for that is jet, like jet black. It's a jet, is like a metal or a stone. So their message for you, Anjali, is uh, use this time, this void, this pause to release old things. Release those things in your heart, those pains, those traumas, those fears. These, it's all there pushing you back to do like the shadow work and work on your self love and where you're at. Because they're like, don't focus on your divine counterpart. Don't focus on those, what your angels want you to know. Focus on you because that's going to change everything. If you aren't working on this and opening up your self love, you're going to be bringing back in mirrors that keep pointing you back inward and not, reflecting this unconditional love and the kind of love your heart really looks for. Because when your heart doesn't believe it deserves that, it will keep bringing in this. To show you what you can release. And so, this is a perfect period for you, Anjali, to work on that and clear out, clean slate time, and really clean out those areas that open up a wonderful, wonderful place for you. So that is their message for you for today. So I do like that for you because it is so freeing. Trust me, I went through 10 years of like 5 different relationships where they all were very gentle teachers showing me how I felt about myself over and over and over and over again until it was like, oh, I see it now. And then when that cleared, it changed, how I felt about myself and the type of individual that came into my life. So it is worth it. So that is that. Okay. Let me just take another sip here. All right. So, Liliana, let's talk about Ricardo. I feel like we want to go to the Revelation Tarot for this and see what are their feelings for you. Is it platonic or is there a little spark? I mean, how could anyone not have a spark for you, Liliana? But we'll see. We'll see what's going on with Ricardo. And then Shivi, you will. I don't think you asked a question. I think you asked one further down. So we'll get to that there. But thank you for asking. I'm doing well. Weird dreams. I mean, this Aries full moon. I just remembered. I did fly in my dreams last night, which I love flying because I think I read somewhere it's like that's when you're going and you're connecting to the higher realms in your dream. And with all the readings I've been doing, I'm not surprised. It was like wonderful. But then I landed and there was a lady that had 2 babies, and then another child appeared, another child, and she goes, "This is my daughter Linda, and my other daughter Linda, and my other daughter Linda." I'm like, "You have 3 daughters named Linda? This must mean something. What does it mean?" So they wanted me to mention that today. So if that means anything to any of you guys, there you go. But I was like, wow. All right. Refocusing. Liliana, Ricardo. Okay, let's take a look here. So you do have, let's see if I can get these together. There we go. So there's the 4 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. So the 7 of Cups is like all this emotional confusion, but the 4 of Cups is also a solid foundation. And I kind of feel like he goes back and forth because the 4 of Cups for me is kind of like this foundation of friendships, and it's just kind of steady. Um, where the 7 of Cups is kind of like, wow, there's so much, and I kind of feel like with him too. I'm so sorry. Um, all this confusion of emotions is because he just it's almost like a kid in a candy store feeling. He just sees all these people and all this attraction. It's just like everything is just like, wow, everything is just so looks so good, I just don't know what. And it's kind of like just all over the place. And I kind of feel like he's not looking for anything in his life from anyone. There's just the solid emotional foundation. Because he's got the tower card here too, which the tower card is, you know, about endings and new beginnings and things that crumble down in their lives. And I kind of feel like he's in this huge piece of transformation and transition and stuff in his life too, which adds into the emotional, like, all over the place. So it, you are one of those cups, it is like, oh, there's interest and stuff, but with everything else, I don't feel like he's like wanting to take anything with anyone anywhere beyond, you know, kind of platonic because of everything else that's going on in his life. So, um, he's on a roller coaster ride, so you can wait till he gets off the roller coaster, see what happens. But at this point in his life, he's just too distracted with everything that's going on. It's like he's in this huge change uh, place in his life, in all areas of his life, it feels like. So that is what we have for you right now, Liliana, with Ricardo. So we shall see. Yeah, they're saying you might want to wait till he gets off the roller coaster. Don't be on the roller coaster with him because he might get sick. You're like, you don't want to get it. You don't want to be there when that happens. You can just watch him on the roller coaster. So keep your enough distance from it, right? All right. Let me continue going down here. Absolutely, Miss King. You can get a reading. Um, I didn't go all the way to the bottom, but since you didn't ask for a specific question, I will pull cards as a general reading. Of course, Spirit knows what you are wanting to know about. And I'm being drawn to the Spirit Song Tarot. So we'll see what message they have for you. Hey, Portia. Welcome, welcome. Good evening to you. Okay, then Shivi, you will be next. All right. So, Miss King, what would you like Miss King to know today? Okay. All right. Let's see what else we have. So you have the Four of Acorns, which is the Four of Wands. It is a celebration card. It's all about your energy, your drive, your ambition, your passion, inspiration. Think of a four as a solid foundation of four legs on a big table. So there's this smoothing out of your energy, this balancing of this energy that's coming in. It can also mean, like I said, celebrations. So if you're attending a wedding or party, gathering, get together, it can mean that too, but a very balanced energy. And the other seven of, which is the chariot here, which is about, let me try to get it. There we go. So there is this movement with the chariot. So things are moving forward. So even though the energy is steady, there is forward movement in it, but it's not a rah, woo, ah, boo, kind of forward movement with energy. And it is bringing in a remembrance and a reminder about your power of choice that no matter what is unfolding in each moment, as you move forward, you get to choose what story you apply to it, and you get to choose what emotion you feel as you go through it. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel like we're making, the choices of those things, but it's because we were so inundated when we were younger about what things are supposed to mean and should mean and need to mean and have to mean and must mean, that it became our habit to think that way and to feel that way. But you can change those habits. You are more in control of the story that you apply to the outside world and anything happening in it and your emotions. So I really feel you're taking your power back. And that's part of the stabilizing, I guess, stabilization of your energy. Yeah. And you have the two of feathers, which is the Two of Swords in the Standard Tarot, which is all about making decisions. Again, here's your power of choice, right? And usually they have like two swords like this, and someone there with a blindfold, which they're saying kind of don't make decisions just with your mind. Really remember you have this wonderful connection to the spirit world, your intuition, your gut, your heart. And so, in these decisions that you're making going forward here, close your eyes to see, right? See higher. Um, look within your heart. Consider your heart in making decisions, not all of the supposed tos and the shoulds and the need tos and the have tos. Realize what those are and where they came from, and realize that you get to choose. Everyone will have their opinion, of course, of what you're supposed to think and what you're supposed to feel, but you get to decide and no one else, and you can't decide for anyone else either. So you can't force anyone else to choose something. Now, I do believe we have, influence on each other, right? I can make it harder for you to choose unconditional love, or easier to choose unconditional love. But ultimately, you are the one who chooses what you feel. I just make it harder or easier, but that doesn't mean that I can blame anyone else for my emotions. I'm like, when we say, you made me feel this way, it's like, no, I chose to feel this way. You just made it really easier for me to do it. But we take responsibility for, our actions. So that is their message for you right now. Really coming into this place of power, understanding your choice, and your energy will move from being up and down to the smooth movement as these events and things unfold in your near future. So I like that. Liliana, hopefully you had a good birthday, Liliana. All right. So let me scroll down here. We got Shivi. So let's take a look here. And then Portia, you will be next. So Shivi, this is what we're with this new energy coming in. What will be the best marriage for you? Okay, yeah, I remember this. So we will take a look here. Do you want to use the tarot of the magical forest? And let's find out if anything has changed. As the cog wheels turn, so are the days of our lives. It's from a soap opera here, an old soap opera. I don't even know if it's around. I remember my mom watching it when I was a little kid. I think it was on forever. So we will do what we did before. We are going to pick 3 cards. We're going to do it you had it in a different way. I remember now. I think you had boyfriend, someone else, arranged marriage, but now you have boyfriend, arranged marriage, and someone else. So we're going to do it in this order that you're asking and see what happens. So a card or 2 for your boyfriend, 1 card for your current boyfriend, and then arranged marriage. Okay, 1 card, and then someone else that you find on your own. All right, 1 card for each. Boom, boom, boom. So boyfriend, you have the 3 of Cups here. And the 3 of Cups normally means a celebration, joyful type of situation here. But it could also mean third party, right? And I kind of feel like that. Like, since we're asking about this relation step, I kind of feel like there might be like another third party interest, like wandering eyes. Bad boyfriend. An arranged marriage. You do have the 6 of Pentacles, which would be pentacles, of course, are about your outside world and about abundance. 6s are good. It is the codependency awareness card, which is, kind of this giving and receiving, and you have to overly give in order to receive something back. It's like you have to give so much, like you have to give 100 of something and you get 1 back. And there's this relationship. Normally that is like codependency, but I kind of feel like it is this, like you have to overgive in that situation more than you would get back. It is still beneficial because there's that security and there's enough where you're able to give to others. It's but it's again, it feels like you have to give a lot to receive little back, or not as much back. You have to overgive to get back. And that's the energy around that. And then you have finding it on your own. You have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is showing here you have your own world in your hands. You hold the world. You get to choose. It's the power of choice card. Whatever you focus on is what grows in your life. But I feel with a relationship, again, you get to choose. You are the one that gets to find out what kind of energy is going to fill your life. So I think that kind of went along with what you had before. Um, and so I don't feel like a whole lot has changed before, because I feel like the other one that you had got that they're bringing back to me is they're like the boyfriend was like your current boyfriend was like the third choice. And number two was arranged marriage. Number one was that you're finding someone new on your own that is more in alignment with your own energy and what you want for all of your life. So, of course, you get to choose what you want, right? If we keep asking a question, it's meaning we're not getting the answer that we really want on the inside, right? So if it's like if you were like, "Well, I want this, and I'm gonna keep asking until I get the answer that matches up," it's like, don't worry about asking anymore. Go do what you want. That's our power of choice in our life, right? We just ask them for advice. Like, "What do you think is best?" And they're like, "I think that is," you're like, "Are you sure? Are you sure that's best? Because I think this is actually best for me." And they're like, "Well, no, this is best." And you're like, "Well, are you sure? Because I really think this is best for me." They're like, "Well, go do what you feel is best for you." And then if you don't like that anymore, there's no harm, there's no foul. We come here to experience. And if you're like, no, you're right, that isn't best for me, I'm going to try that now, then you do. There's nothing about, right or wrong in this judgment where, the angels go, you didn't do what I wanted you to, so you're cut off. They're just like, we want to help you, but we're always going to be with you on the ride. So whatever you want, this is all experience. So there you go, Shivi. All right, Portia, you are next. So let's take a look here. And then Devansha Mishra, you will be next after that. So, Portia, the vision you saw of Em, a glimpse of your past life with them or a future with them. Okay, let's get some clarity here. I feel like we want to go to the Wild Unknown Tarot and see what they have. And then Leo, you'll be after that. Yay! We will get to you. Yay! All right. So what else? Okay. Anything else? Okay. All right. So you did get 3 cards. Let's take a look here and see what this is. So you got the Father of Cups, which is the King of Cups in the Standard Tarot. Let's see if I can get that to, there it goes. A little better there. You have the Empress card, which is all about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and rebirth. And then you have the Ace of Wands. So I really feel, especially with the Empress and the Ace of Wands, is all about new birth, new things coming, new, not old past stuff that's coming up. So I really feel, especially the King of Cups, is all about you really grasping and getting a hold of your own emotions, because it's a balance of heart and mind that's coming in. And it's even sitting in rough waters, the king can sit very well in, he's not concerned, he rules over his emotions, and so he gets it. But with those other two, for your question, I really feel that it is a mixture of, well, I want to say too that the Empress is about um, sensuality. You know what I'm saying? So there is this, uh, you know, energy around that. And then Aries moon is all about fire and passion and all of this. So um, I, I wouldn't say it's a past life that we're seeing for this vision. I really feel like there's this, um, but I don't know if it's a future. I really feel it's springing from your emotions, your passion, your sensuality. It's like this is coming out of your heart. That King of Cups are showing me it's the balance of the heart and the mind, but it's the interaction between the heart and the mind. It's like something that you want showed itself in your mind's eye. You projected this thing onto your movie screen because the vision, this vision, um, it's like a dream. It's a how your mind is trying to help you understand and face, uh, process it, understand it, uh, become comfortable with the thoughts, but also um, get to the root of why and what is the desire, what is the true desire, what are you truly wanting, so all of that coming together there for you. So sometimes it's not a yes or no question. It's like in the middle-ish there for you. So that's what they have for you, Portia. All right, I'll keep on moving down here. So let's take a look at Devanshi Mishra. You want to know if your spouse, what your spouse's nature is and profession, and when you will meet them. So we'll take a look here and see what they are willing to tell you here. Let me just highlight that so I don't lose my spot. And I feel like we're moving to the Radiant Rider Waite Tarot for that. And then Leo, you are next. Oh my gosh. You've been waiting for a couple days. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And then Shivi will follow up with that question. All right. So, whoa, okay. All right. All right, let's take a look here. So, and I don't know if they're going to do this all day today, but what they're showing me for you, Mishra, is that they're not giving information about your spouse's nature and their profession and when you'll meet them. They're like earlier when we had a different relationship reading, they're showing that this is how you are right now. You have so many expectations and so many things that you're trying to live up to as far as who you're supposed to be, who someone else is supposed to be, how it's supposed to unfold, and all that, that it's blinding you and binding you and making it so restricted for you. They are wanting you to really look at those because there's this death and this rebirth that happens with your beliefs and your thoughts about what you're wanting in your life, which sets you free because you've got the two of swords here, which is all about making your decisions. They're wanting you to get out of your mind and into your heart, but your mind is so full of these things here that um, no matter what they tell you, it's not going to meet your expectations, right? They're saying that you have all this stuff that was given to you from others about what your dream should be, what your dream relationship and person and all this stuff. It's so filled up that it's so restricted and tight that like this is the person that you would have to meet. And anything that you're given outside of that is gonna be like, "I don't think that's right," you know? But it's about ending those expectations, really spending that time getting into your heart to understand what it is you want, because you also have the 3 of Pentacles, which is all about being and expressing the authentic you, the real you that's been hidden deep down inside that you've had to bring down to here in order to fit in with everything else. And so they really are pointing you back to question all of your thoughts and your beliefs about who you are, who others are, what relationships should be, and all that, and looking deep into your heart to find the you that was put in the cellar so long ago. Because until then, they're saying that anything that comes, isn't going to be enough, or you'll, you know, they can't make it in here because this is so restrictive. You feel so tied to it that anything, even if they brought you the dream person that's for your highest experience here, you wouldn't allow it in because they're not within this very, very tight scope of what you feel you has to be. And that's all based on everyone else, what they've told you in the past. So I know, I wish there was a different answer there, but that is what they are giving you for today, Mishra. All right, so let's keep going here. So Shivi, okay, we already talked about that. Sorry, Leo, you're next. How is this Pisces feeling towards you? So we're going to use the Spirit Song Tarot and find out there. And for everyone, thank you so much for being here. So, how my chat works here, if you haven't checked out the description of the video, check that out because it does talk about the process in more detail. But you do have to be subscribed to access the chat, and then you just ask your question. If you don't want to put out like what your specific question is, like you put your business out here, you can just ask for a general reading, and I do go in order. First asked, first served, as I'm saying now. So if you, when you're asking for, if I see people going, "Can I have a reading?" If I don't see a question shortly, like right after, I'm not going to scroll down. It'll take me too much time to search through all the chat to go, "What is your real question?" I will give you a general reading. Spirit will know what you're asking and they'll bring you your it anyway. But that's how I will do this. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. I am always excited about seeing what Spirit has to say to everyone. And if you haven't given me a thumbs up already, I really appreciate if you would give this a like, because it does help spread more of the Zen love to the world. So thank you. All right, Leo, I know you're like, "Hey, I've been waiting for so long." Shush. So let's see here. How is this Pisces feeling towards you? All right. Wow. So there is the Lover's card. So there is this attraction. There is this connection that is activated between you two. And you have two cards that are all about seeing things from a higher perspective. The Hanged Man can be that it's also, because they're hanging upside down by one foot. It's taking time, kind of like a cocoon. Like things take time to grow and to change and to come to fruition. And I kind of feel like it's see things from that higher perspective, that you don't have to rush into it, that they do have feelings, but it's taking time. It's not going to move fast, fast, fast. There is this awakening here, this renewal, which does represent sometimes double endings and double new beginnings, which can be there's these changes that are happening in both of your lives that are removing things, and that's what's kind of bringing you guys closer and closer together. You got three major arcana cards out of all three, which does show that this is a significant event for your life. And you know, the Lover's card is also the power of choice, of emotional choice. And so it is telling you that whatever you're going through together, this pause that's happening with that hanged man is happening on purpose, for a purpose, that there's nothing you can do to rush. But as you're going through it, you still get to choose what emotion you want to feel as you go through it all. And that their care for you doesn't have to influence it. You are the one, as I mentioned earlier, with the power of choice that gets to choose what anything means. So just be aware of that, power that you have as you're, going through this interaction with them. That you are the one that gets to choose what anything means and how you feel as you go through it. And but there is this cocoon kind of feel to it where it's taking time for things to change in both of your lives. Caterpillars turn into caterpillar soup in the cocoon because they're letting things go out of their lives to be able to then emerge as this beautiful butterfly and go in directions that they hadn't done before. So it kind of also reflects a little bit on doing your inner work. What are you able to release out of your life, both physically, emotionally, mentally, traumatically, whatever was going on in your life in the past? What are you able to do? Work on your heart during this pausing period, the slow movement. Work on you, because it makes any relationship you have and your relationship with the world, because you don't see the world as it is out here. You see the here, it's a reflection. So as you move more and work on more in here, then that does change the outside world for you. So that is your message, Leo. Hopefully it was worth it for you. If you guys have additional questions, pop them down below and I might eventually get to them. I know I've been getting a lot of questions lately, and I haven't been able to get to everyone each session. So I definitely will try. So let's keep on track here. Next, so Shivi, you asked another question. Please, which country will offer you the best and fulfilling life in terms of happiness, USA or India? I think we asked that one before, but we'll definitely pull another card. I'm going to pull the Everyday Tarot here. And then Dollface Diva. So I think, Portia, we already answered your question, didn't we? I think that was what you asked before. Oh, nope, you didn't. You asked about M. So we will, after Shivi, I'll ask that second question, Portia, and then Dollface Diva. All right, so we're going to pull a card that represents USA for you here, Shivi. Okay. And then also for India. Okay, what would you like? Okay, so can I have clarity on that? Okay. So for the United States, you do have the Moon card. And I think this came up for you last night when we asked that too, because there was the hidden and the unknown. It's like, I don't know what's going to unfold there. There is some conflict between beliefs. It's like the small t truths, people trying to prove that their way is the right way. There's this conflict in thoughts and beliefs because it's all about the swords, and the five is this and this change that comes in. So there is this um, movement of thought and belief, but it's you learn through the experiences that you don't need to prove that your thoughts and beliefs are more truer than other people's small t truths of the human world type of thing, because you're going through this um, connection to your higher self during this time. You're seeing things from a higher perspective. This also, the King of Wands, because it means you get charge of your energy and your ability, and you really super focus. It's like an entrepreneur-ish type of energy, but it also is about you connecting higher and understanding yourself more. So you do have this inner transformation that comes with here, but I do feel like there is, this conflict card really stands out, and I almost feel like, um, that you like this. You feel like you're separate from other people a lot, which makes sense with being in a foreign country, but there is this, clash of beliefs. And then in India, you do have the 5 of Cups, which the 5 of Cups, you have a mental kind of in the US. In India, it's more emotional, where you realize the things that you've had there aren't as fulfilling, and you do feel loss, you do feel um, impact from it. But you also realize that you have this power of choice, which allows you to go across the bridge to your castle over there. And the situations that happen here show that you actually make a change of direction in your life too, because the 3 of Wands is about, you have this big plans that are set and all unfolding, but then new information. And I feel like whether it's loss or whatever you're feeling here, these are all those feelings that are related to the fear of losing conditional love, that it changes, and this new information makes you want to, instead of going this way, like you've gone a long way and you're going to go this way, but instead you go this way. And so you do make these changes in your life, and change of direction as well. So that is the information they have there. So, as far as happiness and stability, you know, there's going to be, like it says, there's mental challenges and belief challenges in the US, and there's emotional ones, but you change direction there. So it's like, just depending on what you're wanting. Again, I feel it's like um, you have community and support in India, but you'll feel kind of like separated and isolated in some ways. But it does turn you inward, which gain information that way. So it's almost like either way it will be fine for you. It's just how you're going to learn and grow in your life. One feels like it's going to be emotional and outward in India. The other one is mental and inward in the US. So it's like, if you're an extrovert, India. If you're an introvert, because for me, I'm an introvert. I'd like being alone and having my alone time and doing all that. So, I'm like, oh, that's what I'd want, to be away from everyone and kind of be isolated. I enjoy that. I thrive under that. Whereas I get exhausted when I'm in large groups of people. So that is what they have for you, Chibi. All right. So we'll move on here to Portia. You're asking about just what spirit would like you to know about your future husband. And I actually feel like we're being drawn to the Angels and Ancestors Oracle regarding that subject. And then Dollface Diva, you will be up next for your general. Hey, Divya. And Chibi, I'm going to put your third question on hold because I've got a lot of people. So because I've already answered 2 questions for you, I kind of just want to wait on that, if that's okay. I just want to get to some other people who are, patiently waiting as well. All right. So let's take a look here. What would they like you to know, Portia, about your future husband? Okay. So I like this. Be brave and honest. A knight, right? A knight in shining armor. Woo! Someone who's noble. That's nice. So I like that energy that's coming in there. That it is someone who is brave and honest. Is who you end up with there, which is great. The additional message it talks about is do the right thing, even if it isn't the easiest option. Stand for what you know to be right and true in your heart. The knight is a knight in shining armor, dedicated to the crown that his sword defends. In this sense, he's a protector of the Holy Grail, and therefore your spiritual growth and expansion. He represents the warrior in you, whether you're male or female, and that energy is within you. His sword and armor show he is courageous and strong, but if you look closely, you will see he has a tear running down his face, showing his willingness to be vulnerable and his love for what he protects. Let me see if we can. I don't know if it'll. There it goes. So there's a tear running down his face over here, right there. Love it. The energy of respect is important right now. You're being encouraged to figure out what is important to you and what you stand for. If you're in a space where there's opposition, you're being guided to follow through with integrity, because even if it seems this will slow your progress, your rewards will be much more abundant. You're being surrounded by a light of bravery to help you. This card also brings justice. If you're longing for justice, please know that the universal energies are working to bring everything back in order, and that you don't need to force anything through with your will. If you have made any mistakes recently, it's important to take ownership of them so that you can align yourself with improving the situation. I don't believe in mistakes. I just feel it's more if you've made any choices that were made kind of lower vibrational out of fear that might have, you know, ruffled feathers or people's feelings got hurt because of it. You didn't hurt their feelings, but their feelings got hurt. It's kind of like making that right. And if you're feeling the need to defend your spiritual path at this time, back down and let it protect you. So there is that dual message that's all throughout that about that's the type of person that your husband will be. But also, there's this call to action for you too, and all those other things that it was asking about you finding your integrity, you doing the right thing, you following your heart, being truthful, being honest, being outright, because that's the type of energy. If you're being that, that's the kind of energy that you will bring in. So that's what they would like to you to know about your future husband. All right. So, doll faced diva. Let's take a look here. And you wanted a general reading. So, I don't know why they were having me reach for the numerology deck, but that's what we will do. All right. And then Ron C., you will be next. And then Angelina. So thank you guys again for all your patience as I work down the list here. I saw someone, Anju, you asked 1010 portal blessings to me. Thank you very much. I do have some 1010 portal readings out there that are available, and I'll post the link. It actually is in the description box of this video too. So be sure to check those out because it's a beautiful Fate's Wheel reading for each individual zodiac sign. So you can check those out. All right. So you got synchronicity coming in here, Dollface Diva. Can't imagine that must be something new in your life. You're like, no, I have synchronicities all the time. And it says this card indicates a need to have faith in the universal order of events, even in the midst of hopelessness and uncertainty. There's no such thing as an accident or a coincidence in the universe, and the perfect people and opportunities will appear miraculously when least expected. Even when you can't logically comprehend how your dreams could possibly come true, you must trust in the magical power of synchronicity to deliver what you need. Remember, it isn't your job to know how things will unfold. It is simply your job to believe and know that all is well. The hows and whens and whos lie in the hands of the divine. But once you surrender the outcome, you are shown the next logical step. That is a great message for all of us, if you guys were listening, because wow, right? All the hows, the whens, and the whos, not our business. We just have to believe and trust that it's unfolding for our best and it's in great hands. So it does say by living in consistent alignment with source through positive thoughts, positive emotions, and prayer, you will automatically attract miraculous synchronicities into your life. Boom. Affirmation for that. I have faith that synchronicity will lead me where I need to be. So, great message for you for today, Dollface Diva. I appreciate that. All right, let's keep going here. All right. Let's take a drink here too. All right. So Ron C, and you asked for a reading. I don't see anything on the screen that I'm on. So I will give you a general reading. Spirit knows what you're looking for, and I'm really drawn to these Aboriginal spirit oracle for you. So let's take a look and see what they have, and then Angelina, we'll take a look at your question next. And then after that, Dale, we will pull information on that. All right. So, Ron, what would you like Ron to know, please? Ron C. All right. This is the one. Oh, you got the leadership card here. Beautiful card. It's actually kind of focusing there. Love that. And let's see what comes in here for you, Mr. Ron. It says leadership recognizes the respect and honor a person holds within a community. A leader is someone we look to as a role model for our values and sense of self. Leadership comes with much responsibility to teach our communities the values and stories that are important for our growth and well-being. This card coming up for you means there is someone around you that is representing themselves as an authority. And this person does not lead by example and is always filled with excuses as to why they are unable to act honorably in certain situations. Your intuition of late has been telling you that this person is not honorable, yet you've struggled to have your own opinion of them because of their ability to charm and fool others around you. Once you stand up and walk away from this disruptive influence, others will follow quickly behind you and support your actions. And this situation will give you the confidence in the future to look closer at people who pretend to represent themselves as something they are not, and will in turn alleviate much confusion and stress in your life. I like that. So they're basically saying that to trust your gut, trust your intuition around this individual, even though it seems like, wow, they have this really good charm that draws people in, and you're like, why am I feeling this way? Just I feel something's off, and you're trusting that. And you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to step away from this. And because you're not one to like make a bunch of waves and stand up in an auditorium and go, you are a charlatan or something like that, right? You're just like, you know what? I just don't feel like this is for me. And you step away. Other people are like, where are you going? And like, I just don't, I just feel weird. And people are like, okay, we're going with you. We kind of feel it too. And so with you leaving, it gives other people the bravery to go with you and out of the situation, which is great. So I love that you are leading by example by following your heart and who you are, and you're not getting pulled into this bickering and this fighting with someone. You're just like stepping away, and in doing that, empowering others as well as yourself. So I like that for you, Ron. All right, Angelina, who's coming towards you? All right, let's take a look and see. I do want to look at the tarot of the magical forest. So let's take a look and see what's going on with that. And then Dale, and then Divya. So again, thank you guys all for your patience as I work down the list. Hope you're having an absolutely amazing day or evening where you're at, enjoying this beautiful Aries full moon energy. If you are coming in and didn't hear my introduction, I really encourage you to check out the first 5 minutes or so of the video, or 10 minutes, because I did talk about the Aries full moon and kind of the energies and what you can do for like a unveiling and letting go type of energies. So, all right, Angelina. All right. That's all I had to say. Boom, cards popping out. So let's take a look here. Who's coming towards you? All right. Well, Angelina, you are going through a change here. I mean, you have this the world card, which is endings of major cycles and beginnings. And you have the death card, which is death and rebirth. Actually, that's the devil card, which is all right. This is great because this is you're going through a cycle of where you're learning to let go of these chains that are binding you. And this, I feel like this is this rebirth that's happening because you also have the Six of Pentacles, which the Six of Pentacles is the codependency awareness card. And I feel like right now they're saying that who will come towards you is going to be individuals who are more of the takers in codependent relationships, until you break that chain. Because otherwise, the cycle is going to continue and continue and continue, and you're going to continue to get these mirrors of these individuals that you give and you give and you give until you're exhausted, and you give and you give and you give until you're resentful, and they end up going outside, because you won't allow them really to receive, I mean, to give to you, because you're afraid that if you are on the receiving end, that they don't need you, and that you'll appear needy, and that they will go somewhere else. So there's this, codependent relationship. It starts off as adult to adult, but it quickly turns into parent child. And this codependent uh, belief that you have in your worth, about that you're not worth anything unless you're able to give and give and give and give, is where you can look into and transform. Otherwise, who is coming towards you is going to be that same type of user, the people that don't give a whole lot back. And but it's a mirror for us. We keep drawing those people to us to show us what we want to see about ourselves, until we go in there and find out, where does this come from? How can I transform this? How can I change that? Right. So I feel like that's what they want you to know right now, because otherwise, who's coming towards you? A taker, someone who's just going to ask a lot of you and not give you a whole lot in return. And I was going to say, I'm sorry to say that, but it's for your benefit, right? It is for what will change. And that may not be what we want to hear in this moment, but uh, they will always give us the perfect truth for what we need right now. So hang in there, go in there and look at that, where that comes from, dig in there and find out where does that belief originate from your earlier in your life about that you're only, it's like you had to fight for attention, you had to do extreme things to get attention, but it's about doing some of that inner shadow work and looking into that. So today seems to be that day. Maybe it's the Aries full moon energy, because they're like really like getting into this newness and this rebirth. And the full moon is about releasing things. So this full moon energy, they're all pointing us to, it's a perfect time to release, release, release. So if you didn't hear the beginning of this video, check it out. Also check out your um, weekly energy update for your zodiac sign. And you might even check out your whatever your Venus and moon sign is, if you know those, because I feel those are the emotional and love type of areas, and that could help out. All right, Dale, you are next. Let's take a look here and see what they would like you to know. What can you expect? General information for the coming week. And they do want to go to the Radiant Rider Waite for that. So let's take a look here. All right. What else? Anything else for Dale? Okay. So you have two cards for this coming week, and you got all about the balance. So we're still in that Libra season. So this is about, balancing your energy, balancing what's going on. Um, and, uh, the Seven of Wands here, these are individuals that uh, it's like you don't have to be defensive this week. Really, as people come towards you and, you know, say things and do things, there's going to be this Aries energy this week, which can be, it's not Mars energy, who's the god of war. So people might be, especially with the full moon, might be a little irritable and a little rah, 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 rah. Don't let that get to you. Just realize that when they're looking at you, you have this higher ground, so they look up to you and they're, oops, sorry, wrong one. So you're up here, and so they see you as in this higher place than them. They're feeling low, and they don't like it, and they're basically, they always say, come down here and be miserable with the rest of us, because we don't like it that you're happy, and or that you're in that, and you need to come here with us. And you're like, balance it out, don't let it get to you, just kind of go with the flow. That's kind of this message here too, right? Just go with the flow, have a solid footing in your mind, and also in your emotions, just a good balance between those two, because they have one foot in water, which is emotions, one foot, which is the mind and the outside world, the inner world and the outer world. Just a good balance for this week is what they're, recommending as far as advice, and expecting that there are going to be some people that are challenging this week, but it's not about you. It's just that they are feeling that they're lower down below, and people will either boast and try to get themselves up to where they think you're at, or they'll try to bring you down to where they feel they're at. And so when they do that, don't we are down, like usually humans feel we're down here when people um, who are feel they're down here try to bring us down. Our impression is that they're trying to push us down further to make themselves bigger, when really they're just feeling a low self-esteem about themselves and trying to bring you down to be equal with them. So with this awareness, just realize, okay, that's not about me, and just balance out those energies this week. Be aware of that. So I like it. All right, Divya, you are up next here, and you want to know Taurus's feelings towards you, and how will the negative ones turn into positive? Oh, okay. Well, let's take a look here and see if uh, or what Spirit would like you to know around that. And thank you, Anju, for subscribing. Really appreciate you. Again, 1010 portal blessings for you and for me and for everyone else in this room. All right. All right, so Divya, let's take a look. What is Taurus's feelings towards you? We'll look at that first. Okay. And then how will things transform from the lower vibrational to the higher vibrational? Okay. Yeah. So you have the moon card here, which is about the hidden. It's the subconscious. There's a lot things underneath the surface. You also have the Eight of Swords, which does show that they kind of feel like they're withdrawn, and that makes sense with the moon. It's like they're withdrawn. They're in underneath the surface. They're all their emotions are just like pushed down, and they're in this cocoon mode here. All these expectations of the outside world, are really having them um, feel constricted, feeling there's so much expected of them that they're not going to be able to live up to your expectations. They have the Four of Swords, which does have them clearing out expectations. And so I feel like when you're asking, how does it turn into positive? This is you letting go of expectations. Usually there's three swords on a wall, and someone's on the Ace of Swords there, which, again, the Ace of Swords is here too. It's like the answer is right there in the pictures, which is connecting to thoughts and beliefs that are more rooted in unconditional love and acceptance, and just allowing them to be who they are rather than uh, having all this pressure of the supposed to, the should, the need to, the have to, all those expectations that they don't feel like they're able to live up to. They're just like, I don't want to walk into this, because it almost feels like a cocoon prison. You have to stay within these boundaries and do these things, and that makes them feel trapped. It makes them feel unworthy. It makes them feel like I'm never going to be able to live up to all those things. And when I asked, like, how do you turn it into a positive, it's being reinforced here with the Mother of Swords, which is the Queen of Swords. Here she is with that Ace of Swords, which she uses to connect to those higher, know, emotions that are rooted in unconditional love and those beliefs around unconditional love, and allows her to cut away those expectations and all those other that are rooted in the fear of losing conditional love. All these opinions, all the supposed tos and the shoulds that we've inherited and taken on, that we're policing, for ourselves. We have ourselves under this long list of rules about lovability and acceptability. And by golly, if I'm going to be under it, I'm going to make sure everyone else too. And I'm going to police it. I'm going to tell them, hey, you're breaking this. You need to be doing this. Why aren't you doing this? You didn't do this. You didn't do this. You didn't do this. And that is what makes it feel like, oh my gosh. And this freedom comes for both you and for them when you release yourself from all of that. Let go of all those expectations. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. And then there's this freedom. And you also have the Two of Pentacles that comes in here. So this transformation, how cool is that, right? You let the butterfly out of the cocoon, and then there's balance, there's freedom, there's harmony. There's a balance that comes out in your life because of that. So, what a clear message there for you. Um, that is allows them to be free. And I know there's a fear of, well, if I let them be free, they're going to run away, and you can know that whatever is meant for you will not pass you by. You know, if they're meant to be in your life, they will be, and there's nothing you can do to keep them there. If you keep them prisoner, they're just going to try to escape over and over and over again, right? So that is the message for you there, Divya. All right, let's keep moving down here. And Shay, you will be up next. Awesome, Bree. I'm sorry, Miss King. I was reading Bree too. Glad you were flying too. All right. And then Bree will be next after Shay. So Shay, you want to know what is our current feelings towards you? So let's take a look here. And I do want to go to the Revelations Tarot here. And just as a reminder, I follow in order and I will go all the way down. If you ask follow-up questions on the reading, I will try to remember. I do so many readings that I'll be like, what was it? But I'll pull cards anyway. Spirit always remembers. They have a great memory. Me, it's not like it used to be. All right, Shay, let's take a look here. What does D's current feelings towards you? Okay. So I have the full card here, which is all about endings of cycles and new beginnings. So there's this newness that's coming in with that. And we've got the Hierophant here, which the Hierophant is about moving up in the outside world and education, sometimes spiritualness, but along with the Six of Wands, this is about recognition. And I feel like that they're moving in this different direction in their lives. It's like they are moving up in their position at work, they're moving up in different things, they're all focused on outward recognition, and they're at this new beginning, this new thing in their life. And so I feel like their current feelings are like all about them and what's going on in their lives. It's like they feel like they don't have time for anyone else or anything else because they're so focused on themselves and what's going on in their lives, this transition that's happening, this new adventure, this movement into, different areas of their life. So, yeah, so they're not it's like, what are their current feelings toward me? They're on the shelf. They're, focused on what's in front of them and themselves. So they don't have anything else beyond that, Shay. So right now, that's where they're at and what's going on with them. So that is the way it is unfolding there. All right, Bree. So what do you need to know about the next 2 weeks? And I do feel drawn to the tarot of the magical forest. Let's take a look there. And then self-love, you will be next. All right. What do I need to know about the next 2 weeks for Bree? Okay. So I really feel it's about trusting the process of life because you've got one, two, three. The one is the Ace of Swords, new thoughts, new communication, connecting to the higher realms is really prominent in your three cards because this is about, the Ace of Swords helps you connect to the capital T Taurus of the higher realm, allows you to cut away all the expectations and all those, thoughts and those beliefs that are related to the fear of losing conditional love. Then you have the High Priestess, which she goes into her temple. She, connects to the unknown, the higher realms behind the scenes, the unconscious, which is number two. And then you have number three, which is joy and celebration, but it also represents, it's the card for me that represents your posse of invisible forces that are up above, them saying, you got your guardian angels and your spirit guides and your loved ones on the other side and your ancestors. And they're all about, telling you, trust us, trust the process. It's all unfolding perfectly for you. You have any questions, you have any concerns, any fears, talk to us. We will give you signs, we'll give you synchronicities, but they're kind of having you withdraw because that high priestess, she withdraws from the outside world and all the noise that's going out there. Get in here, and that will make the next 2 weeks really joyous and blissful, because if we get drawn out into that outside world, chaos will be, running in our head all the time. So that is what they'd like you to know about the next 2 weeks, Bree. I love it. I know you're going through fun times, but that's what they're just like. Take a break, pull in, get out, get away from all that stuff. Even if it's going to a park and just get away from all that. Sorry if you just heard my stomach growl. So, self love, you are next here. Is there anything good in your career? I imagine you're asking anything good coming in your career or what they want you to know about it. So, I am drawn to the Radiant White Tarot. Let me just. All right, Miss King, glad that that message resonated. And then Chaithra, you will be next after self love. And then Aditi will be after that. All right. So self love. Is there? What do they want you to know about your career? What would you like self love to know about their career? Okay. So we got 2 and 2. So let's take a look here. Wow. Okay. Two very beautiful cards that are coming in for you here. The Sun card here is one of the most victorious and beneficial cards in the entire deck. Top 5 for sure. So there is victory, there is light that's coming in, that is going to allow your career to really take a next step in it, because you also have the World card here, which is ending of major cycles and new beginnings. So you have a new beginning, which either means that you are having a position change or a responsibility change at work, or you're finding another job that pays you, that gives you what you want, that makes you feel bright, and brings this beautiful brightness into your life. Yeah, because you also have two royalties. So you have two major arcana, which are life changing. And then you also have two royalty. The Knight of Wands, Wands is drive, ambition, passion, inspiration. And the Knights are all about movement, and fiery wand energy with the horses, very quick, fast movement coming. So I really feel like this is in the near future for you. You do have the King of Swords. There it goes. King of Swords, not only does he rule over air, all the kings are given another portion of air, so there's double air. A lot of mental stuff going on here, and some of it is let go of some expectations and some old beliefs that you have about yourself and capabilities and possibilities, and maybe even like this is the type of job I have to have and how I have to have it and how it has to work. It's like letting go some of that and allowing some flexibility, because when you have things so defined, you miss all these opportunities that are outside of that. And so it might even be leaving your regular field of what you've been working all your life, and you're ready for a change. You're ready for something different, and you thought, well, no one would hire me, blah 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 blah. But this is the environment these days that people are just like giving people chances, because so many people are leaving positions and there's a lot of opportunities out there. Don't limit it. Allow yourself to move on those that drive and those thoughts, because that Knight of Wands is telling you move, have this movement, take some action. And it does end up being very beneficial for you because of that sun. The sun card is just victory, victory. So don't hold back. Don't be afraid to start a new cycle, a new way of doing things. That world card can mean too. Like we were talking about, leaving your current line of work and going into something completely new, because it's an ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new journey and a new adventure too. So I do like that for you, self love. All right. So Chaithra, you will be next. Let me just highlight that and move down a little bit. Oop, too far. All right. All right. So, Chaithra, you wanted to know, will you get married to the person that's on your mind or the arranged marriage? So, we'll take a look here. I do want to stick with these Rider Waite Radiant Tarot. So, we'll do that. Then Aditi. All right. So let's take a look here for you, Chaithra. Okay. So that will be, this card is for energy around you getting married to that person that's in your mind. And then this one's going to be for the arranged marriage. Okay. Okay. Nope. All right. So the person that you have in mind here, the Four of Swords is about peace of mind. uh, you know, Here's all these expectations that you've let go and you're resting easy in there. And so there is this peacefulness of your mind around being married to this individual. It would be a lot of expectations that wouldn't be over you. You will have uh, really released yourself from so many supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos with that. So it is peaceful. It feels very ah. And then the arranged marriage would be full of expectations, exhausted from trying to live up to everyone's expectations. You're not dead. You're just so exhausted from doing all that. And you're looking over here and you get to the point that you are ready, to end expectations, right? Like, and you have the star card here, which is the hope card. And, you know, it's interesting because this would be endings, and the 10 is like you're ready for an ending, a new beginning around all of this, and that you would have hope. You would still have hope, you know but I feel like it would just, you would be in this place where you would be so turned inward, because I almost feel like it's like an you would almost feel like you're in a near death experience, right? Is what they're joking about. It's like you just feel so trapped and inundated with all that stuff that you would turn inward, and that's what the star card is. It represents your higher self that you'd just be like spending every day in temple just to get away from everything, and in that you'd have spiritual enlightenment because you'd spend so much time, dealing with all that stuff that it would kind of bring you to this point that you wouldn't want to be looking outward. You'd be spending a lot of time looking inward. So those are the two types of energies that are coming through for those. So that is what would, you know, what they're providing you for today for that. So, one, you get peace of mind. The other one, you get enlightenment. So it's like, what do you want? Do you want to go through that? Because maybe you are. You're like, yeah, I'm ready for that. Let's go. That's what I want. And the other is like, well, I would be peace of mind and be free from all that burden, you know? So you'd be at peace, but do you want peace or do you want a challenge, right? Dun, dun, dun. So that's what you have. All right, let me keep going down here. Okay, DT, you will be next there. Let me just scroll down a little more. All right. All right, Bob. Oh no, Bob, you couldn't find it. What? What? It's only 3.5 hours. How could you not find it? All right. So let's take a look here at DT. You want to know if there's anything, any specific changes coming to your family. And let me take a look there. Sorry if you heard my stomach growling. I should have eaten before I came on, but uh, I sacrificed eating and now it's like, rawr, rawr. So let's take a look. I do want to use the Spirit Song Tarot for you there. All right. So, any specific changes coming to your family that Spirit would like you to know about? All right. So, I am showing that there is going to be change coming because you got the Full card or the Traveler, which is all about, um, ending of a cycle, a new beginning. We've talked about this card. Fool's come up a couple of times today, and I love the Sun back here because you also have the Sun, which is all about victory. It's about something bright that's coming in, something that's victorious that shines a lot of light into your world. Because you also have the Shaman, which is normally the Hierophant in the Standard Tarot, but is the number of change and the movement up in things in the outside world. Sometimes it's spiritual, sometimes it's legal, sometimes it's um, kind of domestic-ish. So there is this change that's happening in the world. I mean, in your world, in your family's world. And I kind of feel like this is happening um, possibly to you because you also have the Seven of Wands here, which is they call it the Seven of Acorns in here, which is about being in a higher place, like being um, elevated and being moved up where people see you in this position of being lucky, being blessed, having something happen, and they're jealous. They're like, "How dare you be happy when we're down here being miserable? Come back down here and be miserable with the rest of us. How is it? It's not fair that you're getting that and that I'm not." There's that kind of, energy that's coming in around the family. So whoever this blessing comes in for, this wonderful restart, this new journey, this bright, shiny, movement up in their world, it's some family or some people don't like it. And it's because they um, wanted it to happen to them, that they want to have this blessing and this joy that comes in with them instead. So that's what they want you to be aware of. So there's some bright, shiny stuff coming, which is great. But there's also, whenever that happens, even though they want to be happy for other people, sometimes that makes them feel, when people go up, people feel even lower, right? And so they're all blah, 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 blah. So just know that you don't have to defend any of it. But it is what it is, and people are going to be people. You don't have to try to make them feel better. You don't have to include them. You don't have to try to raise them up. It's just like it is what it is. And I love that they're like, you don't have to defend it. Just let them go on their journey, because they could have easily chosen to be happy, but they are going to choose what they're going to choose. You can give someone the world, and they could still choose to be unhappy. Is a message for you. All right, let me continue looking down here, and I'm only going to be on for about 20 more minutes because I really need to go eat and rest and prepare for my 7 p.m. meeting. I'm going to actually be here back on YouTube at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So I'm going to try to get through as many as you guys as I can. I will post some links to some other videos that I have, pick a cards and weeklies and monthlies. So if I am not able to get to you, you might be able to find some answers through that as well. Spirit knows where they'll draw you to the ones that will have messages for you. All right. So let me continue going here. Bob. Um, yeah, Bob. Um, so love advice for Brahm. Oh, they're actually bringing it back to me. Because, yeah, oh my gosh, they're even kind of showing me it was 4 cards and 3 cards and 1 card. And it was all about, because we were like, what are Brahms emotions for you? And it was like erased web browser. It's like you go in to go see what are their feelings, and there's none there. And they were like, they didn't want you to look at their emotions. And then the 3 cards that were after that um, were about you questioning how you feel about things. What do you want about things? What's going on inside there? And, so there's this uh, don't worry about their feelings, that you can't control that. They're like looking in yourself. They were pointing you back to you, pointing back to you, pointing back to you, to figure out what do you feel about yourself? What do you want? Why? And they kept on like pointing, 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 because the other card was like the full card, like, it's time to end old cycles of looking at things, and how you're looking at them, and how you're looking at for other people to define you, and really focus in on how you feel about you, and finding your worth inside. And then you become this cup where you fill up, and then everyone else, is extra. It's above and beyond, but it's not your definition of yourself. You're not seeking others to define you. They're just above and beyond extra, like dessert. And so that is the message there. It was along those lines. But I remember, because they were like, no, this is your advice. I'm not gonna tell you about them and da da da. It's all turn in here and search inward here for that. So that's what the message was there, Bob. So it wasn't, it kept on being like, because the example they gave me is, you go on someone's computer and you look at the web browser, and their entire history is gone, and you're like, where's all that? And they're like, I don't know. And so it was like spirit going, oh, you don't need to know about their feelings. None of your business. This is about you. And and it kept on doing that. 'Cause I remember I was cracking up because all that energy last night, especially too, all that Aries energy, oh my god, they were just on fire with humor and all of that, so so there we go. Alright, so let's keep going down here, and we're to, Deep Shika Sankar. I apologize if I mispronounced that. And then Pragati, you will be next. And hey, Kai, thank you so much for subscribing. All right, so let's take a look here. You want to know if the person who you selected is good for you. Okay, we can definitely look at that. We're going to pull from the tarot of the magical forest. So let's take a look here. Is the person that Sankar selected, are they good for them, please? Okay. All right. Sorry, it took a while to come out there. You know, I am feeling that because you had the 8 of cups, which is all about leaving behind the emotions that no longer serve you. And then you have the Ace of Swords, which is all about cutting away old expectations, new thought, new communication, new things coming in. And you also have the number 1 Magician, which is about using your power and moving forward, manifesting what you want in your life, knowing you have everything within you to make things happen. And I kind of feel like the person you chose is kind of like a person you would normally choose that you um it's like to meet expectations. It's kind of like you're doing what you was expected of you and what felt safe and what you felt other people would be okay with. And it's just kind of like, okay, so I'm checking off the boxes, meeting the requirements, right? And it feels kind of, it's like expectations, and you worked all this way just to meet expectations. There's not like abundance and joy and feeling this wonderful fiery energy about life. It's like, okay, I'm making everyone happy. But you'll never make everyone happy, because if you're not happy on the inside, your life is just energy is going to seep out. The magician here is basically telling you that you have the ability to, you have the magic wand in your hands. And so, you can focus on what you want in your life, what you're grateful to have in your life, and expand and make movement in that direction. Have this passion, allow it to be expressed in the world and what you want to do. People are going to get over it. If you're trying to meet other people's expectations and you're not meeting up to them, and they get all pouty and mad or whatever, trying to manipulate you to be who they want you to be and for you to do what they want you to do, they'll get over it, because no one can ever make you do anything you don't want to do. No one can. Now we deal with the you know repercussions of our decisions of like, I don't want to do it. And if they get mad, that's fine. If they cut us off, that's fine. If they throw us out onto the streets, that's fine. I'm going to live my life. We are the ones that choose. And so, we, uh, we have this, the human tries to blame, like, well, I'm in this predicament because they made me. And it's like, no one can make us. It's like, I'm in this predicament because I preferred that over the yelling, you know? So, no one made me do it. It was a preference choice, right? I was afraid, and so I made the choice out of fear. And so I kind of feel like they're saying, yeah, good. for you, but great for you, the most highest experience in your life for you, not so much. So that's what I feel for you. And that is your message. All right. I wish you the best for your journey and your adventure. All right, Pragati, you will be next. Let me just keep going down here. All right. So, when is Ashwari going to contact you? Let's take a look and see what they have to say for that. Shivi. And then, hey, Gari Puri, you'll be next after that. Only going to be on for about another 10 more minutes. So, if I don't get to you guys that are toward the bottom there before I head off, I will be back tonight at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And then, and every night, I'm on every night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, Sunday through Friday, 8 p.m. Mountain on Saturdays, Friday and Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. And of course, these mornings at 10 a.m. So, I wish I could get through to everyone, but the body needs to rest. And I got checked with spirit saying, you are going to wear yourself out and burn yourself out if you don't balance. And I'm like, okay, but I feel bad. And they're like, it is fine. You only can do so much. So I do wish I could be here for everyone and answer everyone's questions, but the human body is limited. So when will Ashwari contact you? So you have the Six of Cups here, which this is about nostalgia and memories. Let me see what these other two cards are. Mm, there's heartbreak here and disappointment. And the Queen of Cups, which is all about deep, deep emotion that's going on here. So I really feel, Pragati, that you're not going to be contacted. I'm sorry, because there's a big disappointment, deep emotional movement that's happening in your life. And I really feel like the Six of Cups is saying that this is um, this, because the Six of Cups is like this is your child self trying to talk to you, and the situation that comes up, it feels like it's happened before and it repeats and it repeats because your child self, your little child self, wants you to communicate with it and help it um, transform some emotions that had a feeling abandoned, a feeling neglected, a feeling left behind when you were younger. And it's going to keep bringing this emotional wave out into your life through these messengers that come in that repeat and ignite this emotion within you that's from the past, because it'll continue to surface until it is dealt with. Like you get to become this beautiful, loving adult, almost like you're a parent for yourself that's unconditionally loving, unconditionally accepting, giving it unconditional attention that it always wanted when it was younger and never got. It was like almost like you felt like you were the last choice. If there was anything left of attention, okay, we'll give it to you. You got the crumbs, and you felt like you were left behind a lot and or abandoned. And so I feel like this is what they're wanting you to know right now. And that's why they're not contacting you. And it will continue to repeat in other people as it has in the past until the little child who's like yanking on your sleeves going, hey, 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 pay attention to me. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And it's like, it'll keep bringing it from the outside world on there for you until you do. Go, what do you want? No, until you pick them up and you give them the love, your little child self, the love and attention, and allow it the free space to express that abandonment feeling and then it is able to release it, and then it will stop repeating in your life. So I don't mean to laugh. I know it's just the way they're presenting it in my mind is what is funny. And I know I had to deal with that abandonment feeling in my own life, and I know it kept repeating itself until I did. And it was like late in my life that I looked over that. So I'm glad that you are um, having this opportunity now to do that. All right. Let's see here. We're getting close to ending here, so I just want to make sure. So, Gauri, you want to know, does Raul Kapoor think about you? If yes, his thoughts about you now. No contact over a year. Okay, well, let's take a look here and see through the Revelations Tarot what they'd like you to know. Hey, Radha Gupta. Hello, hello. And we will see if we were able to get to you there. I'm so sorry. And Cyrus saying, oh, thank you for subscribing and all you new subscribers. All right. So let's take a look here. What does Rahul Kapoor think about you? Okay, let's take a look here. So they got the Five of Wands. I'm sorry, the Five of Pentacles and the King of Wands. I had them reversed in my head. But you know, I really their thoughts about you right now, they are consumed about their own worth and how they relate to the world, because they also have the King of Wands, which is about themselves, their energy, their drive. I kind of feel like they're so focused on their um, abundance and their success that they aren't thinking about you or anyone. I just feel like they're just like poured themselves into their work and into their job, into their success, that uh, any kind of relationship stuff is like way out here. If it comes in, it doesn't even make it in very far because they're so focused on career, career, career. It's like they're working all the time, and I just feel like there's nothing there. You know, it's like almost like I kind of feel like they stuff everything, like they stuff their emotions down, and then they just focus on driving forward with all the baggage that's behind them, carrying on behind them, bouncing all over the place. But they're moving forward, and they're like, I don't know, and I don't want to deal with that. I'm just going to focus on something else. I gotta stay ahead of it, and it's like they're always running ahead, like they look back and like if I stop, it's all gonna catch up to me. And so they're trying to forward, 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 looking over their shoulder as their emotions are getting closer and closer, but they'll run faster and invest more energy where they're almost exhausted, but at least they're not thinking about emotions. I kind of feel like that's where they come from with that. So, that is what is going on with them. So let's take a look here. So, Radha Gupta, what will be the sun zodiac sign of your future spouse and through whom do you meet them? Let's take a look. I'm going to use the Rider Waite Radiant Tarot. Let's see here. All right. Zodiac sign of their future spouse, please. Okay. So you got the star card, this would be Aquarian energy. I mean, this is the Aquarian card. They're the water bearers. So I really feel like it's not even like air signs that are like Aquarius. And so you're like, okay. And then through whom do you meet them? Okay, wow. So this is great. This is the Wheel of Fortune, which tells you that it is through a fated event that happens in your life. It's an ending and a new beginning. So there is a significant change that happens in your life where it brings you into the room with them. Whether it is, I don't know. It's just like they're saying there's this change that happens, a significant change, whether it's someone leaving your life. I don't feel like it's not a situation like a death in a family where you meet at a funeral or something, right? It's like, oh wow. It's more like there's this big change that happens where it's like maybe you meet him at a wedding, maybe you meet him at you're changing jobs, or there's something that significantly changes in your life, and then boom, there they are at the beginning of this change. And that's where you meet it. And I don't feel like you meet them through someone. I feel like you meet them through a fated event instead. So that's what they have for you. Aquarius. I'm a sun Aquarius. So, I'm sorry if you're going to end up with an Aquarius. I'm just kidding. Just remember, know this, that if it's a sun Aquarius, that even though we may appear that we don't feel, because we can be really in our minds, our air energy takes us into our minds where we see things from this perspective. We feel inside. We just are able to, we're water bears, water our emotions. We're able to hold those in containers. We don't spill them out all over everyone. We keep them all nicely contained, and we feel them, and we know where they're at. They're all organized on beautiful organized shelves, but just know we do feel on the inside. And when you get into a relationship, an intimate relationship, you get to walk through that hall of emotions, and you can take things off and open them and go, oh, okay. You get to experience the emotions with them. So even though on the outside it seems that way, that's how Aquarian suns are. So just that's for everyone. Public service message. All right. And I'm so sorry. I know there's so many others that are down below, and I wish I could answer every single one of them, but I have to make sure I maintain a balance too, or I won't be doing any of them because I won't be here anymore. So, thank you guys so much for all your subscribing. Please just continue to follow. If I didn't get to you today, try tonight or one of the other nights. Or, oh, that's right. Let me make sure I do this. Here is a list of recorded readings. Let me see if this will work here. Oh, that's too many. Hold on. Let me try it this way. And it's all the list of my current, a lot of my current recordings. That's too many too. Let me just kind of break these up into two. And this might work better. So you might find the messages that you're looking for in these as well. Okay, it is acting weird. I'm so sorry. Let me just take these one at a time, and I'll put them down in the chat. Because I think that's the okay, yeah. So that is the 1010 portal readings, and then let me put in this one. These are the weekly energy updates that include information on the Aries full moon. These are your monthly readings by each zodiac sign. I also have some pick a card readings here. And then here's also, I have a whole series of U times 2 with all those. So you can definitely check those out if you are looking for some messages in the meantime while we do that. And I also offer personal readings if you guys ever want to have a personalized reading and not a public one. And that information you can find located there. So, yeah, I am going. I need to go eat and rest, and I will be back at 7 p.m. Mountain Time tonight, which is about 7 hours from now. So, if you want to try catching me there, really appreciate that. And again, thank you guys all so much for the likes. If you haven't given this video a like, I really appreciate it. If it would, it really helps out my channel. I love giving the free readings for all you guys, and thank you so much for all your questions. Again, I wish I could get to all of them, but there's so many, and I only have so much time. So definitely, definitely, please know that every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things. And of course, I love you guys too. I will see you soon on the flip side. In the meantime, you guys hang in there and we'll talk soon. All right. You guys take care.